women, as Sunset touched on, are now giving full-blown tutorials on how to land a top-tier black athlete husband. Okay, this comes after social media went crazy over leaked text messages showing a woman giving her sister an alleged 8-step game plan on how to secure the deal. Good advice or manipulation?
It's both. Like, if for her community, she's a white woman, this is great advice. This is exactly how you bag an athlete. And as a matter of fact, I've seen a black man under there saying, what's the problem? So if you want to engage in this, if this is what you're saying is okay, then by golly, do you. I went to a predominantly white institution, Florida State University. It was so many black athletes, and it was a lot of them who entertained white women. And these white women, they knew very clearly that these black athletes were gonna go after them, and they talked about it. They talked about how, oh, he don't know no better, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. Oh, they talked about how they were gonna bag these athletes. It was a thing. So black men, I just have a question for all my melanated brothers. Was it childhood that made you grow up in disrespect and not love people that are the same hue as your mother? Okay, that wealth always goes back to the white woman. What did I talk about? That white woman would do any and everything to make sure that wealth go back to her family, because Master sitting at the dinner table saying, good job, girl.
It's correct. It's the fact when she said that she said the Shanae joke, right? About us women. She makes him think that, correct, provoke that, you know, we're ghetto, whatever the case may be, because that's what Shanae is. And then it makes him whatever, just leave the girl alone. And it made me, it made me really mad, because how easily our men are manipulated, or how easily they can just, be so embarrassed instead of like standing up for us. Like, just because she's saying Shanae, that don't mean that that's just us.
Yeah.
Because they Shanae too. You know what I'm saying?
And I think what she said was to provoke the black woman so she can look unstable.
Correct.
And she also said, yeah, he may cheat. Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
that he's not in love with her. That's just, you know, basically like a side chick. Don't worry about
my thing is, and so many black athletes, once they get up, they go to the other side. Do what you do, but at the end of the day, is it really love? Because y'all think, but just because they wash and they this and they that, we do the same thing. I hate when I see in the comments where they say, oh, they this and they that. Black women do the same thing. The only difference is, sorry, we actually love y'all for real.
Can I say that though? You talked about the love thing, and I just want to say this really quick. White women don't care about love. They're not trained to marry for love. They're trained to marry for stability. Why are we confused? And just back to what you were saying the white woman didn't care about cheating. Duh. The white man was sleeping with the slaves, I meant. And she did not care. That was still her family, and she was still riding for the white man. What part of it do we not understand? Let them go and be where they're celebrated. Leave them alone. The coons in our community got to go. And I keep talking about this. Let them go.
But you know what? At the end of the day, what I also want to touch on is, you know, I do understand you guys' sentiments, and I also agree. But I think that, you know, where an issue is coming in here is that, and I've known this for a long time, even with having this kind of insight on exactly what they are saying. I always speculated and thought that maybe this was something that is being taught in white households. Maybe the dad is raising his daughter to tell his daughter, hey, do this, do their homework.
Right.
You know, this is something that I'm sad to say. I told my son since he was 2-3 years old, when he even told me that he wanted to get into football, I'm telling him, hey, you don't need nobody to do your homework. You don't need nobody to do your laundry, all these things that I know there are people that strategically set their children up, preying on the things that mothers are not, or parents are not preparing their children to do for themselves, as this young lady said here. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so sad to me thinking about the fact that, you know, when we think about wealth building, and when we think about, you know, the disparaging differences in black wealth and white wealth, and when we see, you know, threads like this where the whole goal is, she told her sister, hey, hold them down, get throat spray, do all of these things, and in 2 years you will be at what you know what I'm saying? Okay.
Draft day.
You'll be at draft day, and you'll be in Cancun with me, where your friends are working their tails off to never be able to live the life that you have. Actually giving them the plan to not just get an athlete, but to win a black athlete. But the thing that scares me though is that these, you know, other races, other people, the white race, they are raising their children to marry, where we are fighting just to climb up the ladder. And so many black households are raising their daughters to, you know, go to school, to get your own education, not to focus on marriage. That building family and, you know, really putting your wealth together is something maybe hopefully you'll have, but not the necessity for it. And so it's just like, how do we bridge the gap? And it's also crazy because the black women don't have the availability to even help a brother that she's dating with his homework, baby, because she has to make sure she can get some wealth for herself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Imagine if you was doing a black man's homework only for him to choose a white girl and you ain't got no education and now he going over there and you ain't got no
That's
money
what I'm
to do
trying
his
to tell
homework.
you. You talking about them raising them like that, Tally, but back on that, it's no way. We're not going to be, you're saying, okay, we damned if we do, we damned if we don't, baby, because you just said it. It don't matter if we raise our kids to be for marriage or whatever when they're not being chosen by these black men.
I literally dated an athlete for 13 years, okay? I can talk from experience. I did everything I thought, I gave everything. And what did he do? Choose the Spanish. So there you go. Bingo.
And you said that there was a comment that said, what's the problem?
Yes, black men. Oh,
Wow.
go read the comments.
Knowing
baby.
they're being preyed on.
Knowing they're being preyed
knowing
on.
that it's not really about love, it's
Yes.
about finances.
Ooh, Massa did a
And
number on
taking
us,
that
baby.
money, and you're right, it does go back out of our community, back to their community. Is that the plan?
That's
Well,
always the
That's always the plan.
Sadly,
Wow.
the fact is, and I hate to say it, no disrespect to the athletes, that athletes actually have a brain.
Right.
But at the end of the day, most of these athletes are idiots anyway. So even her putting in the little advice to do their homework, baby, that's what they need.
Yes.
Because, hello.
The craziest thing is, I literally was told that. She do my homework. She do my this. She do my that.
Yes.
Whole time I'm here back home. You're in college. I'm here back home trying to make some of myself to make you happy. And you're telling me somebody else is doing your homework. That's why you are screwing around with them.
Yes, but the white
Sorry
women
to
been
hear
doing
that.
their homework since high school. I was in a high school where none of the athletes did nothing. I mean, they had
At
2
my
cents
high
for a
school as
brain.
well.
Yes, and the white women, yes, they were doing, not even the white women, the white teachers, y'all, were doing their homework and making sure that they got past the finish line.
Well, football was very important. I
And
mean,
you
that
gotta think,
game
like,
had to
those-
happen so that school can get that money.
Correct.
The coaches with them daughters,
Yeah.
baby,
Woo.
they already tell her, hey, he going somewhere. You make sure you get him.
Yep.
And guess what? When you have a black athlete who comes from a broken home and things of that nature, he's gonna do whatever to get to the, to college and stuff like that. So then boom, he started talking to the coach daughter. So now him and the coach is what? Buddy. And then now he got a free
See,
ride.
that's what I don't understand. Like, why are you okay with being preyed on, knowing for a fact this is what's happening, but then when it comes down to someone loving you, that is an issue.
But
Take love out of the equation.
Oh,
Y'all, we
correct.
going back to
Oh.
feelings and emotions.
Okay,
Black
I'm
women,
messing
this
up.
is our plight. This is our downfall. We keep thinking emotions and love and all of that is going to fix this. This is something systematic. This is something integrated inside of their DNA. We can't answer that question. Maybe a force of men can answer you. We can't. This is not our conversation. Let's not even give input on that because then we're going to be ostracized for even giving an opinion that a black man's supposed to answer. Don't even do it.
my
Don't walk
goodness.
in
and
my
then
fire.
you know they're gonna say, oh, they just sitting up there jealous. Has nothing to do with jealous. We just want more for y'all. But hey, y'all do whatever y'all want to do. Baby.
I just want you to love your mama. That's
Yeah.
all at the end of the day, because that's what we see where this is coming from. It's coming from self-hate.
Yep.
Wow.
And she should have did better for you.
Well,
If you
now,
want to be honest.
I'm not even touching that anymore. Let's move on to now unpopular opinion.